Count Berthold von Imhoff was born to an aristocratic Prussian family in 1868. He turned his back on a promising career in Germany for a simpler, more spiritual life in rural Saskatchewan, painting for the church.
Count Berthold von Imhoff was a family man, a hunter and an artist. Despite his aristocratic name, his parents had little money. Thanks to a wealthy patron, he attended art school in Berlin. At 16, he won top honors for a portrait of the German emperor. His career as an artist was assured. But he was restless. Industrialization was ruining his beloved wilderness. In 1900, he moved his family to a German community in Pennsylvania. From his studio, he ran a successful business, painting frescoes for houses, banks, and churches. In 1914, he moved the family again to St. Walburg, Saskatchewan. Bert Imhoff lives in the home built by his famous grandfather.
Reading, Pennsylvania was getting a little crowded, and he heard that there was land, inexpensive land for sale up here, and he knew a priest up in our area, and he came up and visited him, and he went hunting with him, and that's how he bought land up here, and they moved up here.
The Count built a studio on his farm and painted by the natural light of the north-facing windows. His forte was Christian art. He took commissions from churches of all denominations, more than 90 churches in Saskatchewan and the United States.
Every picture he ever did, no matter how big or how small, was done 3 times. He drew them out at first in charcoal, put a finish over top and a wood shellac and alcohol, and then he would paint it 3 times. Every little detail has been done over 3 times. And any picture you see with the gold in it, which is a lot of them, it is all 23-karat gold leaf that he used.
Imhoff painted for the sheer joy of it, from morning to night. His paintings cover the walls of the Imhoff Gallery in Lloydminster.
The self-portrait of him over here, he painted that picture of himself there from looking in a mirror. Now you'll notice the eyes are looking at you. No matter where you go, those eyes will follow you. That is called perfect perspective.
Imhoff insisted on using only the best canvas, paints, and brushes, despite the protest of his son Carl.
And Dad said, he says, you know, he said, Pop, he says, we can't afford this. He says, Carl, he says, someday you'll be awful glad, he says, that I bought this.
Despite the pinch of poverty, Imhoff refused to sell a single painting that wasn't commissioned first. Even during the dirty 30s, when church commissions stopped coming, he would not sell even one painting. In fact, he gave many away, including the frescoes in his parish church, now located in Paradise Hill. In 1937, the man who had spent his life painting for God was knighted by the Pope. But when he died at the end of the Depression, Imhoff had little money left. His artistic son Carl chose not to carry on his father's work. He turned instead to farming as a way of life.
Imhoff was almost penniless at the time of his death in 1939. But for thousands of parishioners in churches across Saskatchewan, his artistic legacy is priceless. For the CBC NewsHour, I'm Bill Waiser.